Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today's topic is about the domination from the claycourt players here at Wimbledon. And as I'm speaking, Nadal is just one game away from defeating Wilfred Songa in the third round, and he will be advancing clearly to the fourth round. And if you look at Nadal's game today, we all know he's the Mr. Consistent. His level, ball in and ball out, is higher than anybody and any players on any surface. It doesn't matter if it's clay, hard court, or sometimes at Wimbledon. We all know Nadal's record here at Wimbledon. He has been in 5 finals before with two wins. And his losses came against Roger Federer in 2006 and 2007, before he won his first final at 2008. And then he lost to Novak Djokovic, another final, after his 2010 win against Tomas Berdych. So far in this match, Nadal is looking clean, as always. He does his job. He doesn't give away anything for free. His serve today, especially his first serve, was tremendous. He didn't give away many points there, I can say. And Tsonga, who some people thought that he can take 1 or 2 sets from Nadal, was totally blown away from the court today. Nadal looked secured and solid from the baseline as usual. He's both from his backhand wing and forehand, and he didn't give Tsonga a chance. He ran around like a gazelle, and so far in this tournament, Nadal is the guy who impressed me most. And if you're gonna take some of the outsiders, I want to say that Guido Pella has also impressed me after his 3 straight sets wins over Kevin Anderson. But this is Nadal. He's always like this. It's no surprise. He just keep these low-ranked players, the high-ranked players, away from him. Nadal is the mentally toughest player on the tennis court. You know that, because some of you people think that mental toughness is to come 2 sets behind and win or save a match point and stuff like that. But Nadal, it's the opposite. His mental toughness is not to give the opponent a chance to take command in the match. Especially, how many times have you seen Nadal lost when he has picked up the first set? Barely. That has happened a couple of times against Djoko, Federer, and when he have lost in Wimbledon in early rounds. But that's nobody's perfect. But Nadal is near perfection as a tennis player, because he's the most consistent player you can find. If you look at the history books, you will never find a more consistent player in tennis history. You know, like we saw yesterday, Novak Djokovic struggled against the Polish guy Hurkacz. He did 49 unforced error in that match and 8 double faults. So Novak showed sign that he's vulnerable yesterday. You can't take a set from him. He's always like that. The longer the tournament goes, the deeper Novak goes, the more danger he gets. And if you look at his draw, he has a pretty solid draw now, since Felix Aliassime, who some thought that is going to be his biggest threat and his first real test, he lost yesterday against Hugo Humbert from France, who is a new talented guy. He's a guy to watch out for in the future also. Maybe not the Grand Slam winner, but he can do some damage on the court and win a couple of titles here and there. It's nothing. He has a chance like everybody else. If you look at the next gen players that is standing behind the corners to come and take over the throne from this three giants, but we have to wait a little bit more, I think. So Novak advanced to the fourth round, and he will probably be in the final next Sunday, as I predicted. And one of my predictions is going well. I have not guessed many rights earlier at this Wimbledon event. It's like that. I just know that the three giants, some of them will win, and then you have your predictions like the guys who are gonna come to the quarterfinals and stuff like that. But I managed to do a couple of wrong guesses here, and I will stand for it. And I also have Federer in final in my preview, but I'm not that sure anymore, because after seeing Nadal plays like this, or was Tsonga that bad? No, Rafa didn't give him a chance. He's always like that. It's nothing new. And I told you before in my Wimbledon preview, Nadal's toughest match before the semi-final will be the match against Nick Kyrgios, where he lost the set. So Nadal is looking very, very dangerous. And without injury, he can go through the way to the final. He can win this tournament for sure. He's one of the top 3 ranked, in my opinion. And now about the topic. This Wimbledon tournament has become a tournament for the claycourt specialist. If you look at Peja, who defeated Kevin Anderson in 3 straight sets, he's looking very sharp and good on the court. I'm pretty shocked, because I know that he is left-handed, he has a good serve, he has good angles with his shots, shot selection is very good. But he surprised me when he beat Anderson in 3 straight sets. Not that Anderson has been super good this year. So the other play that impressed me is João Sousa from Portugal, that beat Marian Cilic in 3 straight sets. And then we have another clay court specialist, Diego Schwartzman, who is playing right now against the Italian new talent and the guy Berrettini. They have won 1 set each, so that's going to be an interesting match. And then we of course have Fernando Verdasco, who won his 3rd round match, and RBA Roberto Bautista Agut, who also won. And of course we have Nadal. And if you can call Benoit Paris a clay court specialist, I don't know. He is pretty sure a hardcore player, in my opinion. But of all of these guys, Peja, Sousa, Fognini, Schwartzman, Verdasco, RBA, only one of them have won a grass court tournament, and that is Fernando Verdasco. He won at Nottingham in 2008. And Roberto Bautista Agut has been in 1 grass tournament final, where he lost, I think it was at Rosmalen, if I remember correctly. And that is pretty amazing, because none of the other guys, these guys, has won a grass court tournament except Verdasco. And I'm just talking about this clay court specialist. And then of course you have Nadal, who have, I think, won 3 grass court titles, 2 at Wimbledon and 1 at Queens. And then you have Novak, who won a couple of titles more, since he has 4 titles at Wimbledon. And just to mention about Sam Querrey, my upset alert, he won today convincingly in 3 straight sets. And he has been in the semi-final, if you remember, at 2017. Where I think he lost, I forgot if he played against Federer or if it was against Cilic. But anyway, he has been good for this year. This year at the grass court season, he was at final at Eastbourne, I think, where he lost to Taylor Fritz. And then we have Kei Nishikori, who won in 3 straight sets convincingly today. And another surprise, Tennis Sangren, who beat Fabio Fognini today. We know that grass is not Fognini's best surface, but this guy Tennis Sangren. I haven't seen him live one time at the Stockholm Open last year. He played not that good. I think he lost to Jon Isner if I remember correctly. But he usually hung around on the Challenger Tour more than on the ATP Tour. So good for him. It's good to have some new names, but he's not young and super talented, and he's not one of the guys that we think is gonna win Grand Slam titles in the future. So with that said, we have 2 matches left today. It's a British guy called Evans against Sosa, and then of course we have Roger Federer against Lucas Pouille. And those matches are gonna start in a couple of minutes, I think. If Nadal's match is finished, they're gonna start now. And why have these clay court players succeed at this fast surface? It's very simple, because it's not a super fast surface anymore. It's not like 10-15 years ago where you barely saw any clay court specialist at the second week of the tournament. The slow homogeneous, how do you pronounce it? I forgot. But when they started making this court slower, they want to see more baseline rallies. They didn't want to see 30 to 40 aces a match, and that's the evolution of tennis. Some people like it, and the supervisor and All England Club, they've decided to make the court slower, and they have been doing that for many years now. But this year the courts have been looking more slower than ever. It's like a sponge on the grass that suck out the ball, and it barely bounces, and that suits guys like Novak Djokovic and Nadal, and that's why they are in my top 3 prediction, and they will be as long as these courts are like that. And to be honest, if Roger's gonna win Wimbledon this year, has to do something very, very special, because like I said in my preview, I can't see him beat both Rafa and Novak back to back to win the title. He's not that consistent anymore. He's not that good anymore that he's capable of doing. Of course he can do. It's tennis. Everything can happen. If you have a good day, a bad day, it's nothing like that. But if you're gonna be realistic, I don't think his best chances is to come to the finals. And if he meets Djoko there, Djoko will win, because I'm counting on both Roger and Rafa to reach the finals. And with the routes from the 4th round and further, Rafa has the better draw if you compare to Roger, because in eventual 4th round Roger will have to face Berrettini or Diego Schwartzman, and they are solid grinders, at least Schwartzman. And Berrettini has a huge serve, huge forehand, good solid ground strokes, and an okay net game. He's very good from the net also. So it's going to be interesting now when we enter the second week after these matches. And to be quite honest, I would think we will see these 3 giants in the semi-final. And the clay court players' domination this year is extremely, because we have lost solid experts on this Wimbledon courts like Cilic, Anderson, and we have only a few left now. It's Federer, we have Raonic, we have Sam Querrey, we have Novak. They are all good on grass, and Nadal, of course. So it's going to be interesting to see how this tournament goes further. Alright folks, that was everything from me today. Have a nice day. Bye bye.